Hi everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. So in my series of lecture, in this series of my video, we're going to see about the functions concept in the C language. So before entering into the C programming, first we're going to see about the what do you mean by function. For example, this is my task. You are considering this is my one bigger task. In this thing, we are having a n number of the things can be accumulated from starting to ending. A single person can't able to do the entire task at a single way. So we're going to divide this thing into various types. For example, this can be called it as a function 1. This can be called it as a functional 2. So it can be divided into various types. So each and everything is, we can call it as a separate term or block of works, block of things are grouped together. We can call it as a function 1. This can be called it as a function 2. This can be called it as a function n. Because each and everything can be executed separately. If whenever they need, they can able to use it inside the thing. So because this particular F1 can be independently work, all the functions can work independently, and also it can be tested independently because it is a subtask of this main task. This one is a main task. In this thing only we are dividing into these many things. So only the main task can be subdivided into subtasks. Each subtask can be grouped together to form a entire task. So this can be worked separately, this can be worked separately, this can be worked separately. Each and everything can be executed separately and also it can be tested separately. So while combining these things into a together, because if we are combining the entire thing together, only we can able to attain this thing in this particular main task. We're going to attain this thing in the main task. So each and everything can be worked separately. So it is very much easier task in the main program, while combining only it is a major task because each and everything can be tested separately. So combining is not a big problem to us, and also it can be running time of the particular thing can be very much easier. Best example for this one is a real world example. If you are arranging any marriage function in your home or for your friend or any other thing, so we can't able to do all the thing. As a parent, I can't able to do all the thing. So I'm going to subdivide my marriage work into my relatives, my son, my daughter. So I'm going to separated into several tasks like this to smaller way. One thing can be taken for arranging the hall, it can be taken by person 1. For example, arranging food can be taken by person 2. For inviting others can be taken as a third person. For invitation be taken by fourth person. For purchasing it can be taken by some other person. So in this way we are dividing. So similarly in our C language also it will be supported. That particular thing only we can call it as a function. So function can be called it as a smaller block of code that can be executed separately. So why we are separating this thing means for a easier one, and also for using major thing is only for the easier one, and also because it is a independently work. For example, this is my task 1, this is my task 2, this is task 1, this is my task 2. For example, in this particular task, I'm going to divide it into, again it can be divided into 4. So this can be called it as F4, this can be called it as F1, this can be called it as a F2, this is another function called as a F5. For example, F1 and F2 is already developed, already tested over here. So by using a task, it can be invoked over here. So the person 2 task is they have to do only the function 4 and function for it. This particular code is already used. So this can be reused over here. This is a major advantage why we are going for a function. So many advantages is that one thing is it is easier. Second one is the code can be reused. Third one is whenever we need, we can able to call this particular function. And also so many n number of times as a programmer or a user, we can call that particular function by passing a value, or with and without passing a value, we can able to get a function over there. So this is a major things only we are going for a function. So only I am giving this thing in the here. It is a main function. Inside the main function, a function is called. In the called, it will have an actual argument. That actual argument we can pass to the function created. Function is created outside the main function. So whenever it can be called, it is automatically linked move to the function created. After working, after getting the output, again it will return back the result to the main function. So this is a concept, can be called it as a function. Now let us see the definition of function. Just I erase it because it can't able to see it in my next slide. So here we're going to see about the definition. So what we discussed over the previous thing is define function. See here, a program segment that carry out some specific or a well-defined task, or we can call it as a smaller block of code. Everything we can be call it as a function. So major example for the function is adding a 2 number, finding the largest of n numbers, Fibonacci series, factorial of the given number. Everything we can implement it by using a function. Any type of a function, any type of a code, we can able to convert that thing into a function. So this particular function is also called as a user-defined data type. Based on the user, we can able to define the thing. So only it can be called it as a derived data type, because it can be derived by the basic data types, that is called as a integer, character, float, double. By using this thing only, a function can be derived. All the programs we can able to use it by using a function. And also function will carry out its task whenever it can be called and invoked. We can able to call it many times. Whenever we need it, we can able to call it the function. And also similarly, we can say that a function can be used by all type of a person, not only for a single thing. We can able to use this particular concept for solving the all type of a problem. By using this thing, we can able to reduce the execution time, as well as the very easy to debug the code, because each and every block can be have a subtask. So each and everything can be executed separately, each and every code. While checking the thing also, it is very much easier, because a block can have, a function can have a only smaller amount of a line or a smaller amount of a code. So we can able to easily identify the bugs over there. So only we are normally as a programmer, they are going for a function concept in a C language. So in my next video, we're going to see in detail about the how we can declare a function, and also how we can able to call, how we can able to define the particular function. Everything we're going to see it in the next video. Thank you.